Welcome to the Sheila New Comedy Show tonight. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm good. Hey, Captain. How you doing? Hey, Sheila. How you? I'm good. I'm so glad to hear your voice. I miss you, boo. You too, girl. And hey, everybody. Hey, Jay. Hey, Natasha. It's good to see you. And Nazali, hey, good to see you as well. Wonder how you be.
I'm doing all right. And just in case people haven't seen, there is a poll in the show tonight, and it's called "What's Your Mood Tonight?" So take a few minutes and answer the poll, and we hope you are laughing, or we hope you're not just making it. But let us know
I
how you're
know
feeling
that's
tonight.
right.
And welcome to a special edition of the Sheila New Comedy Show. We have been doing this show almost 2 years.
Yes, it's been 2 years. It has been 2 years. Can you believe it's been 2 years?
I know time flies.
When you have it, yeah, even when you ain't, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. But I love it when we do the special edition episodes because that lets me know that we are ramping up for a new season. So I'm happy to be here in this August. I hope you all have had a wonderful summer. I hope you've been outside. I hope you've been catching some sun and all the vibes, eating good food, getting your drink on, or whatever it is you do that's your business, but I hope that you've been doing it with all good intention. So I'm glad that we are here tonight. So, Wanda, what makes this episode a special edition?
Welcome back, Candace. We missed you. And Sheila. So we wanted to do a special edition, kind of get to know you. So a little bit about really getting to know who is Sheila New. So it's just a little different tonight. And so we're gonna laugh a little bit, learn a little bit about Sheila, and along the way, Candace and I will add a little bit of our own tidbits to it as well. Candace, you want to tell us what you've been up to?
I've been up to trying to brand myself.
Come on.
Girl, I've been trying to start my YouTube channel and do some other little things around here. And, I think it's more of a catharsis when you do this. It's more of who is your most authentic self? And do you want to share that with the people? So I'm excited about that, building up my clientele. So I'm really, really excited. And I'm excited to be back and excited to be here.
Yes, and I'm excited for you and congratulations. It's always big when you're doing big things. And hopefully, by the time we do the show in September, we'll have some news to share with the rest of our listening audience from all over everywhere. And I would like to give a special shout out to Poland. They look like they done joined the tribe of laughter. So they've been one of the countries that I've seen that have been popping in and out. So we always appreciate our international listeners as well as our listeners in the US. So, however y'all want to do this thing, let's take it away.
Yeah, we'd love to just questions for you tonight, Sheila. But we also, before tonight, so want to talk a little bit of sports because there's a lot been going on in sports. And
Yes,
since we have
indeed.
Candace with us, we can't not talk about sports.
Absolutely.
And we might do, we try not to do politics, but we will do sports because that's her thing. So, I
Absolutely.
just couldn't help but say that. Just curious, in introduction, we want to know Act One of this show tonight. This is for Sheila. Who inspired you to get into comedy?
That's a good question. I think just by coming up in my younger years, watching Saturday Night Live and then sneaking and listening to, old school comedians like Red Fox and Richard Pryor and even Whoopi Goldberg back in the day when they were still doing stand-up specials on HBO after 8 or 9 o'clock when my little butt should have been in the bed. But instead, I was creeping so I can listen to all the non-Sunday school words and get my chuckle on. So I'm gonna say it was a combination of both. I think Eddie Murphy sparked it because of all the different characters that he played on Saturday Night Live and just the whole improv movement and just the way he could get into different characters and things like that. So I won't say it was one particular comedian or style of comedy. And I think as I began to just go forward, that group of comedians began to expand because you take a little bit of a lesson from everybody, maybe how they format a joke, how they tell a joke, or how they write a story, or whatever the case may be. But definitely at a young age, I knew that laughter was something that I had in me to be able to gift it to see other people laugh and the ability to make other people laugh. And it gave me a charge. So it's something that I definitely wanted to pursue. I just never thought it would be in the form of stand-up in the very, very beginning.
Do you remember your first time on stage?
Hell, yeah, I do. It plays in my mind every time, but it made me nervous. It's I don't know what. Imma take y'all way back in the day before the internet, before Google and all the things. You had to let your fingers do the walking through the yellow pages, right? It was in 1993. My son was born November of '92. July of '93, I actually had the same dream 3 nights in a row, and every night the dream progressed, and I finally saw myself on stage, and when I woke up from the 3rd night, I was like, "Okay, God, you trying to tell me you want me to do stand-up?" And I didn't know where to begin other than allow my fingers to do the walking through the yellow pages. So went to the yellow pages, looked under, see for comedy, of course, called a couple of clubs, tried to get, some information about how I can get on stage or whatever the case may have been. And I actually talked to a man by the
Candace, what makes you so funny? Why are you so funny?
Oh, me?
You.
I consider myself funny. I consider myself
took it because it's not like what you know, but it's who you know. But because Duke was the one who sent me, he gave me my first shot on stage. I had 2 minutes to be in front of an audience, and Kirk's words to me were, "If you make them laugh, we'll have something to talk about once the show is over. You don't make them laugh, it was nice meeting you and your friend. Have a drink on me, and I'll let you know when we're ready." And that was pretty much my first night, and we've been going ever since.
Thank you, Sheila. But you were cut off for like a minute, probably.
Oh, yeah, because
And Candace was starting to talk about why I think she's very funny, but she doesn't think she's funny.
oh, Candy, oh, absolutely, she is.
they be myself. Be myself.
But that's what you think, but that ain't what we say. But yes, indeed. Okay.
All
So
right.
since we've been talking about a little bit about Sheila, so about the Sheila New Comedy Show, Sheila, how did the Sheila New Comedy Show? How did it start?
You did, you did it. The thing is that you came to me and because we used to be in another room on a regular basis on the same platform. And we started talking about comedy. I don't even know how we got on the subject. But you basically called me off this site, you was like, "Okay, so what you gonna do?" And I'm like, "What?" You was like, "You should do something. We should do something." And I'm like, What should we do?" So initially, Wanda wrote a book called Dating is for the Birds, and you can find it on Amazon. It's a book of short stories, really good book. And we were online one night, her, Ronald, and I, and shout out to Ronald Diller Jr. We were just basically dissecting the stories, and it made it funny and it made it fun. And we did it for a couple of weekends. And then I think that's when you wanted to say, you should do something or we should do something. And I said, you know what? I'm a stand-up, comedian. I don't know anything about this social media. I don't know what that looks like. And I said, let me think about it. And I had to think about it, definitely had to pray about it, and 3 days later I came back and said, okay, we can, try it. And from my perspective, we was only supposed to do like one show. And I thought that was gonna be it, and we did our first show back in April 2023 on a Thursday, and After that, the rest has been history. We've been rolling ever since then. But yeah, you started.
But I thought it was funny because it started from reading the book Dating is for the Birds, and we had so
Right.
much fun doing it. We would laugh
Yes.
a lot. And we did part one and I'm doing a part two. And then
Yes.
how that's kind of like, oh, this is kind of funny. And so from that, so this has been pretty cool to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Candace, you got some questions?
I think I want to know about your family. At what point did your family think you were funny?
Well, I think my family always thought that I was, but I had one uncle in particular who just fed the funny. And because every time we would see each other, we would just talk crazy. Whatever I saw on Saturday Night Live or whatever I thought that would make him laugh from his gut. Sometimes you get that, and that's cute. But I want you to laugh from your core. I want you laughing until you can't hold your pee. Like I want to invoke those kind of emotions. So my uncle was the one who we used to have that exchange often. And of course my peers, like in school and stuff like that. But especially out of my family, I would say it was my uncle. My uncle just, I don't know, it was like we had this different type of bond, and his laughter just made me just go in more and wanted to explore how can I invoke this emotion and basically everybody who I came in contact with, right? Because you get to learn that laughter is good medicine, and it helps make things go bye-bye for a little while, even if it's just temporary, or it can clear your mind so you can focus on the things that you really need to focus on. But definitely shout out to my uncle who kind of helped nurture the inner comedian. And I was probably about 9, 10, 11 when we were doing that.
Who is your favorite comedian of like in 2025? If you look at the current day comedians, who would you say is your favorite?
I don't have like one favorite. I think I have several favorites, and they're all favorites for different reasons, right? So if I had to say present day, I would go with Dave Chappelle first because of his style of comedy, Cat Williams, and I like Marlon Wayans too, to be honest, just to name a few. No shade to the other comedians that's out there. Everybody's funny, but those were the three that popped up in my mind right off.
I think the last 2 years have really been, we've had some serious things happen in the world. I also think it's been comedy gold. I mean, like a lot of stuff that you can use, comedians can use. What do you think about that?
I think it is. I think life is full of material, period. It just depends. I think when you're a comedian, or as I like to coin myself, a comedic storyteller, I think that you look for the funny in almost everything that you do. I think that's how creatively I get through stressful situations or whatever the case may be. So I use that. And back in the day when I was still writing, like, to go on to stages and was doing shows almost every other weekend or at least every weekend, I would go and sit out at the malls or in the park or somewhere where it would be a lot of people and just people watching. I would always have a pen and a pad, and I would just jot down what I saw, what I heard, and then come home and develop a routine, just from that to use. So yeah, life gives you all the lemons that you can muster, and you can make as much lemonade as your little heart can stand.
I'll let Candace ask the next question.
Come on, Ken.
Well, I have to be forthcoming. I don't have my script up. So y'all have to hold on. Hold on.
Okay, go on.
You know
Give me
what?
your-
You know what? I'm not
I
gonna
love
say
you.
nothing because it's the same person who has been y'all been harassing me.
Uh-uh.
And you know, I gotta say, well, I had the script like since yesterday, but I purposely did not send it.
Well, look,
She teaching us a lesson. Ooh, she teaching us a lesson.
girl, listen, I ain't thinking about what Wanda talking about. Quit playing with me.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
See what I'm saying?
See,
I was ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Yeah, yeah, how they say get ready.
Yes, please and thank you.
Mhm.
So in the middle of asking, we take a break from asking Sheila a question. So Candace, what do you think about Shiloh being cut from the Tampa Buccaneers, and what do you think is going to happen to Shador?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
That's very good. First of all, I think Shiloh, okay, there's two sides to this. The first side is he's a rookie. He should have been on his best behavior. The other side is there have been seasoned professionals that have done way more than what he has done, and they never got cut from the team. So you got somebody who is young, who is a competitor, and I think they're trying to use him because of his dad and to teach him a lesson. Because he has that last name, Sanders, Deion Sanders, and they couldn't touch him when he was at his prime. That's why they call him Prime Time, Coach Prime. As far as Shiloh is concerned, I think they picked him up because of Deion, and they were trying to, be nice. But on the other hand, I think he had a responsibility. But then on the other hand, I think they did that to him because of who he is and to try to make a lesson of him. Nah,
Because when I look at the tape, it almost looked like he got hit first, and that's not his character to
exactly.
be fighting. That's not even his character to do that.
And there's a guy, what is this man's name? Garrett. Miles, is that it? Where he took a helmet and hit somebody in the head with the helmet.
Wow. That
He
story
swung it,
sounds familiar, but I don't recall the name, but the
but
story
he's
sounds
still
familiar.
playing.
But we all know that there are all these sides to the story. And just like you
Yes.
said, if they're trying to teach your father a lesson, what better way to get to somebody is through somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
So,
definitely. And then you got Shiloh, poor Shiloh. I mean, not Shiloh, Shador. Poor Shador, he just, he did good, but they still trying to say he's not good enough.
wow.
Well, I don't know what's gonna happen with him. And they got, look, guess what? They put Joe Flacco in the number one position. Joe Flacco been playing for about 50 years. So I don't know if the goal is to win or is the goal to teach lessons, you know?
Right. That part.
I mean, I think it's exactly what Colin Kaepernick said, that they're all in cahoots together.
Of course.
So I don't know.
That's
They wishing
crazy.
the best. I hope they turn it upside down.
I know that's right.
And it's like he's already a multimillionaire. He's just doing it for the love of the game. So he doesn't need your money. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. It's about all about the status and, people wanting you to be a part of what they got going on or make you feel like that's where you need to be. But hopefully, they sound like both young men have learned a lot by just being around their father. And I'm pretty sure he has told them the ins and outs of, the game overall. And I think that's something that no matter if it's sports, whether it's business, whatever it is that you're doing, the more you know, the better off you are, right? You can't stop learning one thing. That's something that has to be a continuous thing so you can continue to elevate and get to those higher levels where people just can't pull the wool over your eyes and, and talk all that crazy to you. But definitely shout out to the Sanders family all the way around and speedy recovery to Dion. And I hope that he is on his way back to feeling like himself for sure. Yes, indeed. I know y'all seen what happened on the tennis court the other day too. Did y'all watch that? Oh, the
What?
girls, the lady.
No, I didn't see that. What happened?
I don't let me say no names without me having to Google, but it was a tennis match yesterday from I want to say the one player was from Australia and the other tennis player was from here, from America, and they got into it. And she told the girl that she wasn't nothing, that she was ghetto, that she ain't have no class, she ain't had no education. That's because she whooped her ass on the court. So she made it feel a certain kind of way.
I missed that yesterday. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why you was sleeping, but that's been all over the sports news. Candace, did you hear
Was that
about it?
Coco's match?
No, it wasn't Coco, but it's enough fights. Why? Talk among yourselves while I'm typing.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I don't see how y'all missed it because y'all be on everything. Okay, Taylor Townsend gets into a fiery U.S. Open post-match moment. So if you look at it, it happened a day ago. So Taylor Townsend, mollywop, an older seasoned tennis player, and I guess instead of being sportsmanlike, right? Or sportswoman-like and shake hands and all the things, and because she got her butt whooped fair and square, she got all up in the woman's face. And I shout out to Taylor for holding her composure. Cause baby, she probably smelled what that lady ate for lunch. You understand? That's how close they was. But she kept her composure because she let her talking be done on the court. She whooped her fair and square, but baby, you can't be doing everybody. You testing people's gangster. I don't know who got y'all thinking that this kind of stuff is cool to be nose to nose, breath to breath with people without getting knocked the fuck out, okay? Because any other place, I'm pretty sure it would have been a whole knockdown drag out. But yeah, make sure y'all check that out. Taylor Townsend won her match against, let me see who the lady name is. Hold on. Uno momento. Let me see if we can get some names. Hold on.
So it
Okay,
was Taylor
Jelena
Thompson. Taylor
somebody.
Thompson was African American.
Yes. And Jelena, whatever the lady name is Jelena, Jelena, and then her last name is Ostapenko. Get into a heated verbal exchange after the match, and she told her that she was ghetto. She had no class, all the things that you can. She probably is everything short but the child of God is what she was trying to come at her with. But Taylor Townsend showed up and showed out because it was already tension before the match. And the other lady was doing well to begin with, but Taylor just dug in a little deeper and she swung that racket like she was supposed to, and she beat her ass fair and square. So if you mad, cause now listen, if you play sports of any kind and you know that you're up against an opponent, all you can do is your best. And sometimes you're gonna win. What's that line in the movies? You win some, you lose some, but you live to play another day. You feel me? So you can't be mad because you sending the wrong message because people getting a little jazzy thinking that you can just jump up in somebody's face and they ain't supposed to say nothing or react to nothing. That's how your ass get knocked out. Okay. So we want to take these as lessons, and please and thank you.
Well, thank you for the comedy break. Now,
What's up, man?
we're in Act 3 of our special edition show. This is a question for Sheila, but I would love to hear what Candace has to say also. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, don't listen to nobody who hasn't done what you're striving to do. Because if they haven't done it, then how can they really direct you in where you're trying to go? I think sometimes we get so caught up into what the they says, right? Or people who, because they've never been in business for themselves, or they never gone on stage, or they've never written a piece of music, or they never performed in front of anybody, or they never done a play or been on TV, just drown out the outside noise. Find a tribe of people that even if they don't understand what your vision is, they still support it no matter what. That's what I would tell my younger self. Candace, what about you?
Yeah, definitely. Cut the self-talk, the negative self-talk. Cut it out of your brain because at the end of the day, the only thing that's stopping you is fear. What's the worst thing that could happen to you? You could fail. So what? You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you keep it moving. So I think to my younger self, I would say, Don't listen to what people say, like you said. And I would also say, take your health more seriously. Stop stopping at McDonald's.
You better blow past them drive-thrus. You don't need them fries or that
Right.
shit. You need to do anything. You need to shake that ass. What's yourself? What about you, man? What would you tell your younger self?
I think be fearless and try stuff because what's the worst what can happen? You can fail, but if you fail, you can just start all over again.
So this is
So be
my
fearless.
acronym for FAIL. And this is what I tell a lot of people, especially young people. And I think I have shared this with my children. But FAIL is an acronym for first attempt in learning. That's all it is. It's your first attempt at something. And just because it didn't go the way you wanted it to go doesn't mean that you stop. Just like Candace said, just like Wanda said, just like I'm saying, pick yourself up, start all over again. And these failures aren't really a fail. It just means that you got to go back through and rework the plan, whatever that looks like for you. Just don't ever give up. Pursue your dreams. I mean, they're yours. That gift was given to you, that vision was given to you. Pursue it full out and don't stop until you get to those levels that you're supposed to reach, because apparently it was planted in you for you to reach your own personal greatness and for you to spread that greatness no matter wherever you are. So that's a great question. I like that. And I appreciate that question.
Being funny and laughter. Have you ever used comedy to help you get through a personal
Every
challenge?
day, every day, from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep and all points in between, comedy helps break up the monotony in my day. And it just doesn't do it for me. And I always tell people, I'm a working entrepreneur, so I do have a job. And so a lot of times the laughter is warranted and needed because the job is stressful, it's demanding, it's a lot of things. So not just for myself, but even for my coworkers. I get calls and text messages and Skypes and all the things several times throughout the course of the day because people just need a little reprieve. And I'm happy to deliver that on so many levels. So I definitely always look forward to that. But yep, I use it even on those days that I don't necessarily feel like it. That's when I dig down even deeper to find the laughter because it's a reminder for me, to keep going, to keep pursuing all the things that we're doing and things that I'm just doing too. I'm ready.
Yeah, that's really, I think it's important to laugh, especially right now with everything going on in the world. You have to find a little bit of laughter. And so
About it.
we did a sports break, so we do a quick political break.
We will.
Anything in politics making you laugh?
All of it. It's not necessarily making me laugh, fall on the floor, rolling on the floor laugh, but it's making me laugh like high five, get that ass and get him and gather him together. So let me just number one, because I lived in the DMV. Shout out to Governor Wes Moore.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Wes Moore, the first Black governor of the great state of Maryland. Okay. And definitely shout out to the mayor of Baltimore City, Maryland. Okay. Because they not having it. And definitely shout out to the homies in Chicago who went on their political rant about, this policing of sorts that's going on in DC. So it's not so much funny doesn't always mean like ha ha, but it could be very cynical, or it could be like they told your ass and now you gonna F around and find out. Remember the Montgomery brawl? This is like that, but it's 2.0 style. So yeah, get yours. But that's what I've been taking from the political aspect right now.
It's been a lesson in gaslighting because this has really been true. If you're trying to study how to gaslight people, this is what
Yeah.
we're being
A-
gaslit
And
every
and
day.
very narcissistic behavior is being displayed for sure.
And I think it's funny because I don't know. One of my favorite shows was Scandal, the TV show, and so I have a little segment I do now that I call this a scandal like 2.0, and I have a
Yes.
cat. I have a cast of the cast of characters, and so the cast of characters is I call him the Orange Man and his cabinet and the vice president. They're part of the cast. And in the cast, we also have a group called like in Scandal they had a group called I think it was B69 something like that. They had that was what their group was called, and so I call this group group is called B I think is 58. That's like the group I call is what I call, but they're like the Avengers. And so I'm adding people to the group. So right now in the group it's Hunter Biden, Gavin Newsom is in the group, and so I keep adding people to the Avengers group, and that's gonna be like that special circle. And so I'm kind of making like a reality show, but I kind of add what we think should be happening.
Oh, that's what's
Trying a
up.
little storytelling, something for fun. This is really like real life Scandal, that TV show.
Yes. It definitely is for sure.
Candice, you want to add anything before we end our political break?
Absolutely not.
I knew she was gonna say. But see, we talk. She was so passionate about sports, though. She was all in the
I
sports
love
game.
her. I love her.
She was all in. She was all, I knew
That's
she was gonna say that.
That's what makes this work. She likes what she likes. You like what you like. And when y'all both be talking about these things that you like, I just want to stay like I'm Switzerland and just do what I gotta do and keep it moving. But yes, indeed.
So on to Act 4 after we finished our political break. Since Candace doesn't have anything, we got a few questions for you. This is for Sheila and for Candace, and this is so fun, quick hits, quick cracks about yourself. So if you're watching TV, do you prefer Netflix or live shows?
Both and really Prime and Apple TV. Definitely shout out to Prime and Apple TV for yeah, but Netflix has been coming up. They had some pretty cool live events. The only thing is, I think they're still really trying to work that part out because even with the live streams on some of the things that Netflix have done, it's been a lot of crashing. So that ain't cool. I'm paying for a service. I need the service to work. And please and thank you. I'm just saying thank you. But yeah, yeah. Please, I need it to work because if it freezes and all that stuff, and then I done miss a very important part of a concert or the fight, it's the fight. We got a problem. You see, there's a problem. You want to show Beyonce's Cowboy Carter, everybody's hopping on. I'm gonna need the buffering to not buffer. I'm gonna need y'all making all this money on subscriptions every month. Y'all, it ain't like y'all charging once a year. You're debiting accounts once a month.
Who would play you in a movie about your life?
Sheila gonna pay Sheila. And you gonna play you, and Candace is gonna play Candace, and then we'll get people to fill out.
Or the other pieces?
But I don't think, to be honest, and I know, listen, no dig. I watch actors go into, their method acting. Like shout out to Jamie Foxx who played Ray Charles. After a while, I forgot that it was Jamie, and I really thought I was watching Ray Charles. So I know that it's a lot of that goes into it. So it's not like I don't think that nobody could play me. But I think that I would play me better than anybody, cause who knows me better than me? You know what I'm saying? And they follow you around, so instead of following me around, just let me play me, you play you, Candace play her, and then we'll put the fillers in where it makes sense at, and from there we'll take it from there. That's what I'm saying.
Oh God.
Nobody could play me. Nobody.
Nobody goes.
See what I'm talking about? Nobody.
I'm gonna leave that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone. So, if your life had a theme song, what would it be?
I got 5 on it that your broke ass can't keep. That don't you?
I don't even know that song.
Yes, you do. Don't make me play. You know that song, girl. I got 5. Now you do.
I don't.
That your broke ass can keep. That's my thing, yes. That and Nuck if
I
you
know I know
buck.
that
Okay,
one.
depend. Hey, yeah. Either way. I come in the club, shaking my dress, throwing these blows and shaking my head. Yeah, don't get yes. I want all the hype music because I want my life to be. I want to be able to wake up and be like, boom, we ready to hit it. And then whatever song my daughter come out, and right now it's static. So yeah, that part. But go stay with your story. So yeah, it's gonna be an eclectic mix of a little bit of everything because I like all genres of music. So my song will probably change on a regular basis. What about y'all?
Uh, I think I would go with a T.I. You can have whatever
Okay.
you want.
Hey, stacks on him, Patron on ice, ice. Okay, don't make me get started. Go ahead. What about you, Wanda?
I don't have one right now. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Hey,
So,
go, so
um,
slow wind on then. Do your thing.
so
I
I
ain't
can't. I can't. I'll come back. I'll come back to one, but probably something around Michael Jackson. Beat it. Yeah, beat it.
okay. Hey, that's upbeat and
Just
that's
beat it.
cool.
If you
Cool.
get out of my way, just beat it.
Okay, that's right.
That's
That's
how I
right.
feel right now. Okay, so talking about questions, what's the funniest encounter you've ever had?
What kind of encounter?
Anything. What's the funniest thing ever happened to you? Or you've seen?
The funniest thing that ever happened to me. Well, been quite a few. One thing that I think that pulls up in my mind more than anything is that, when you're driving down the street and you're at a stoplight, and people are waiting for the light to change so you can go on and be about your business. I guess a lot of people use that time to concentrate and focus, or they put on makeup, brushing their hair, whatever. But what really blows me is people that be digging straight up in their nose, like they tickling the hell out their brain, because they be all up in there. And I bump the horn and I look at them and be like, So that's the kind of stuff. Yeah, I like to do stuff like that. So if you see me, make sure you keep your hands down, and I hope you got sanitizer and tissue in your car because that's really, I know it's your nose, but that's nasty. Okay. What about y'all?
I was thinking, yeah, you see funny things all the time. I think back, I remember one time this lady that nobody in the office really liked, and she went to the bathroom, and she came out. She had toilet paper coming out the back of her dress, and nobody wanted to tell her.
Oh,
We thought
I
that was
I
funny.
would have been rolling, but I would have
And
told
then
her. I'd be like, girl, and I
somebody
would have
told her,
told.
they were like, "Who's gonna tell? Who's gonna
But
tell?"
I would have told her after we would have just had to laugh a little bit because it be hanging out looking like a little tail and keep it going. What else? What you got, Candy?
I I think the funniest thing I ever had was when I was a flight attendant. I had vanilla ice on my flight.
Shut up with a one-hit wonder.
The one hit wonder. Girl, and he was passed out sleeping, and every time we walk past him, we go, ice, ice,
Right,
ice.
exactly. See what I'm talking about? He might have had one hit, but it was catchy. Okay, shout out to Vanilla Ice.
Mhm.
It was
Candace don't think she's funny, but I think she's one of the funniest people I know. But she don't think she's funny.
absolutely for sure. What else we got?
So if you look at you have this sentence, finish the sentence, and it says, "Laughter is."
The best medicine.
Ooh, I like that.
The best medicine.
Maybe we could say laughter is my soul's reward. I don't.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your laughter is, Wendy?
I don't have one. Let me stop. So,
You know,
Laughter.
I'm not
Question you the
Yeah,
best.
that's all right.
wait,
We're gonna get
no,
that. We're gonna get her.
no, I
It's
got it. I
okay.
got it. I got one. I got one. I'm just moderating tonight. Laughter is the spice of life.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
I like that. Come on, Spice. A little bit.
Sometimes there's a laugh from crying.
Or laugh till you cry. Either way it go, we cleansing.
Absolutely.
Because laughter is cleansing too. Absolutely.
So, on to Act 5 of this special edition of the Sheila New Comedy Show. What's next for the Sheila New Comedy Show?
Well, I feel like what's next is ramping up for episode or season 6 and to really sit down where we can all three of us come together and record in front of a live, small, intimate audience, our version of this podcast in person. I think that would be one of the dopest things. Invite a few people to come out and kick it with us in person. Just have that good vibe, that good energy, laugh out loud, have interactions with our fan base of individuals in person versus just always being online. So that's one of the things that I would like to see for the show. What about y'all?
I like to see some of the same thing. I think it'd be great if we could do a live show where we could have a small audience that could really listen to the show.
Absolutely. Can, what you thinking?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And
Oh,
I'm
oh,
thinking syndication.
oh, she doing big pictures. Okay. So
It's
then that
been,
take us to the next.
yeah,
I see a book, I see a tour, all the things. I see a special.
yeah,
One of the things I think we talked about a couple years ago, I would like to do a night with Sheila New where I just do my stand up, and have that taped and all the things. So I would like to do that. Definitely a book, short, funny stories, kind of piggybacking on our super producer friend Wanda Rose with Dating is for the Birds, something that comprises something on that level. Short, quick quips, if you will, of different stories, make them funny, but make them meaningful. And definitely to do a tour and to see a sitcom in the future and a few movies before we kick back and just go into syndication and rack up on the royalties. We said it. We said it.
yeah.
Speak it. And so, what message do you want your audience to leave with after every show?
Just to always remember to laugh. Like, never take life so serious where you forget to do that, to laugh and to breathe. Those are two important components in life. And just to make sure that you're checking in with your own mental health. I think that, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I know all three of us are very, passionate about, the mental health proponent of, life and that aspect. But I want to make sure that people are taking care of themselves. We love that you stop in, hang out with us, and that you are listening to the podcast. But make sure that you're getting the help that you need. If it's not something that can just be brushed over, seek the help, get it. There's no shame in it. So I just want to make sure that we bring, not only the comedic aspect, but that you learn, that you walk away saying, dang, I ain't know that, or "Oh, I'm glad they touched on that subject," or whatever the case may be. But I hope we just make your life a little lighter because we know it can be heavy. We all experience things and we all go through stuff. And, sometimes you just need somebody to be that little ray of sunshine. So I hope that for a lot of people that listen to us on a regular basis, whether you go back to season one and run it, and, it gets you through your work day, or if you skip around on different shows, because I find myself, I often do that. I'll do the one or the other. I'll run season one all the way through, or I'll skip around just because, I love to hear, how far we come and I love to hear the laughter. And just, sometimes some of the stuff that we said, I'm like, dang, we was very profound on, on that show and it sounds good. And so I hope that our audience takes away that after every show. What about y'all?
I want people to leave feeling a little lighter than they may have come to the show. They may have had a bad day and they listen to the show and even if it makes them laugh or makes their day better, that's a great thing. And, I think it's fun to make people laugh and just to see when I write and I've done stage plays, I love to see the audience response, more than what you just want to see the audience, what their reaction is. And we get joy out of making people feel good and making people laugh. And I listen to the episodes and I feel like I've heard them the first time when I've probably listened to them 10 times. And I'll just pick an episode one day when I'm driving and listen to it. And it's like I don't even know the people and I'm just listening for the enjoyment and I actually enjoy the show. So that's a really good thing.
Candace, what you
I want at the end of the day, there's a saying, you can't smile and frown at the same time. You can't laugh and cry at the same time. And so what happens is you want to escape. And so it's a distraction, it's an escape. So at the end of the day, by the time the show is over, you really can't remember what was bugging you or what you were anxious about or what was stressing you out. So at the end of the show, you had a distraction, you had a break from this thing we call the real world. So that's what I think people should take from it.
That's dope.
Thank you guys for this night where we've got to know a little bit about Sheila New and a little bit about Candace and myself. But every night we do this show, we want people to laugh, we want people to leave, wanting to come back and learn more and listen to the show more and laugh more. And so as usual, we are going to end with our word from Sheila New.
Thank you, Wanda, and thank you, Candace. And I appreciate y'all so much from the bottom and the depths of my heart. I'm so glad each time that we're able to get together and to do this, have positive conversation, be around people that love what we do individually and collectively, and be able to turn it into something spectacular. So I want to leave you with this. Life is going to happen. And some days it's going to feel like hell is breaking out all around you. Get somewhere and quiet yourself. Take a few deep breaths and spend an episode of the Sheila New Comedy Show. Find some laughter in it. Listen to it like Wanda said, like you ain't never heard it before, or you ain't never been here before, or that it ain't us, and let it, speak to you from the inside out. But more importantly, don't ever stop dreaming, because you never know who's listening and who may be able to tap you on the shoulder and want to pour into what you have going on so you can elevate yourself to the next level. So take time out for your own mental health, for your physical health, for your emotional health, for your spiritual health, and your financial health. Take time for all of those things, and also take time to laugh. Peace.
Good night.